Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to be doing some algebraic exponents. So right here, I have listed the exponent properties. You could feel free to pause the video so you can go over them, as these will be very important as we are doing some of the practice problems. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it here. Let's start off with these four right here, starting with number 1, x cubed times x to the 6th power. So according to our exponent properties, this would actually be very simple. This would be simple as doing x to the 3 plus 6, and this would get us x to the 9th power. Final answer for number 1. Number 2, what we would need to do here is to multiply the exponents 2 and 4 together. It's as simple as doing y to the 2 times 4, and we would get y to the 8th power. Final answer for number 2. Number 3, a to the 6th over a to the 3rd power, or a cubed. It would be as simple as doing a to the 6th minus 3. We would get a cubed. Final answer for number 3. And number 4, it's a bit more compared to the last 3. So first, we will want to look at our x terms, 2x squared and 3x to the 4th. We want to look at our coefficients first, which is 2 and 3. We would multiply those together to get 6. And the exponents, 2 and 4, we add them together. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6x to the 6th power. And y, our y terms, y cubed and just y, which is also just y to the 1. We would add those exponents together as well. 3 plus 1, 4, so we get y to the 4th. And this is our final answer for number 4. So hopefully that wasn't too bad, and we're going to get into some other ones. We are at our next set of problems. Feel free to pause the video and attempt these yourself. Okay, starting with number 5, we can look at our we can look at our x values, x to the 7th and x cubed, and we notice that we have x to the 7th and x to the 3rd power, so we could write it as x to the 7 minus 3. And now looking at y, we have y to the 5th in the numerator, y squared in the denominator, so we write out y to the 5 minus 2. This is basically the form you write it in if you were to come across a problem like this right here. And doing the math, we get x to the 4th times y cubed. This is our final answer right here. Going to number 6 now, we want to look at our parentheses, 3a squared times b, and that's all raised to the 2nd power. So, starting with 3a squared, this would simply be 9a to the 4th, according to the property, and we just have b, which is the same thing as b to the 1, and that would just simply be b squared. This is the final answer for number 6. Going to number 7, we could focus on the numerator first, since we have x to the 4th times y cubed raised to the 2nd power. Focusing on x first, multiplying these two exponents together, we would get x to the 8th power. And for y, we would get y to the 6th power. And this would all be over x to the 5th times y. And now this is easier to work with. We would simply write out x to the 8 minus 5 times y to the 6 minus 1. Doing the math here, we get x cubed times y to the 5th. This will be the final answer for number 7. For number 8, we have 2x to the negative 3 times 4x to the 5th power. Multiplying the coefficients together first, we get 8 and then x to the negative 3 plus 5. Doing the math here, we get 8x squared. And this would be the final answer for number 8. If you were able to work through these on your own, good job. If not, that's okay. We're going to hop into our last few problems. We have arrived at our last two problems. Starting with number 9, we realize we have negative exponents. So what can we do here? Well, what we can do is whichever exponent is negative, we would move it to the opposite, meaning we would move x to the negative 2 down to the denominator and y to the negative 1 up to the numerator. But the exponents would no longer be negative, meaning we would write this as 3y cubed times y over 6x squared times x squared. And this would equate to 3y to the 4th over 6x to the 4th. Looking at our coefficients, we know we can simplify this down to 1/2, meaning we would write the final answer as y to the 4th over 2x to the 4th. And this will be the final answer for number 9. Going to number 10 now, let's look at our x variable first, x cubed. We would multiply that exponent with the outside exponent, meaning it would come out as x to the 9th. And doing the same for y, it will be y to the negative 6. But we need to rewrite this as y has a negative exponent, meaning we would rewrite this as x to the 9th over y to the 6th. And this will be the final answer for number 10. Alrighty, that's going to be all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed or learned something from it, and if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and leave any types of feedback in the comments, whether it's positive or constructive, for further improvements. That's going to be all from me, and I will see you in the next one.